The first time I saw the smile that killed me, I thought it was the most ordinary thing in the world. It was a rainy evening, the kind where the city looks washed out and tired, as if even the buildings are longing to go home. I was standing at a bus stop with my collar turned up, counting coins in my pocket and calculating which meal I could skip that night. My phone buzzed with another rejection email, and I didn't even bother opening it. After a while, rejection emails all sound the same, like different voices saying the same sentence, "You're not enough." That's when I noticed her. She stood a little apart from the rest of us, holding a paper bag close to her chest. Her clothes were simple, slightly worn, and her hair was tied back in a way that suggested she didn't spend much time in front of mirrors. When she looked up, our eyes met by accident. I was ready to look away, trained by years of disappointment to avoid connection, but she smiled. It wasn't bright or dramatic. It wasn't the kind of smile people practice for photos. It was small, hesitant, almost shy, like she wasn't sure she was allowed to smile at strangers. And yet it landed on me with unexpected force. Something warm cracked open inside my chest, something I thought had gone numb long ago. I nodded back, awkwardly, and looked down at the pavement. My bus arrived a minute later. I boarded, found a seat by the window, and watched the bus stop slide away behind wet glass. For reasons I couldn't explain, I felt lighter, as if someone had quietly lifted a weight off my shoulders without asking permission. I forgot about her for exactly 3 days. On the 4th day, I saw the smile again. This time it was at the hospital. My mother had been admitted after collapsing at home. The doctors used careful words and sympathetic tones, but all I heard was the echo of fear. Sitting in the waiting area, surrounded by antiseptic smells and the low hum of machines, I felt smaller than I ever had. I stared at my hands, wondering how a person can love someone so deeply and still feel so helpless. Then I looked up. She was there, sitting across the room, the same woman from the bus stop. She was holding the same paper bag, though it looked more crumpled now. Her eyes were tired, ringed with shadows, but when she noticed me, recognition flickered across her face. And again, she smiled. This time, it wasn't hesitant. It was steady, grounding, as if she were silently saying, "I see you. You're not alone here." I don't know why that mattered so much. Maybe because in that moment, no one else looked at me as a person. Nurses saw a file number. Doctors saw a case. Relatives saw someone to exchange worried looks with. But her smile saw me. She stood up, walked over, and offered me a cup of tea from her bag. "They make terrible tea here," she said softly, "but it's still warm." I hesitated, then took it. Our fingers brushed, and the warmth of human contact surprised me more than the tea itself. "My father," she added, nodding toward a corridor, "he's in surgery." "My mother," I replied, my voice rough. We sat together in silence, sipping bad tea, sharing a bench and a fragile kind of hope. When a nurse finally called my name, I stood up, thanked her, and for the first time that day, believed that things might be okay. Over the next few weeks, our paths kept crossing. Sometimes it was at the hospital, sometimes at the bus stop, once at a small grocery store where we both reached for the same loaf of bread and laughed. I learned her name was Sarah. She learned mine. We never planned to meet, life simply placed us in the same frames again and again, like it was trying to tell a story we weren't yet aware of. Sarah worked 2 jobs. In the mornings, she cleaned offices. In the evenings, she volunteered at a shelter for runaway teens. She spoke about it casually, as if kindness were just another chore on her list, like washing dishes or paying bills. When I asked her why she did it, she shrugged. "Someone helped me once," she said. "I guess I'm still passing it forward." She never talked much about herself, but I sensed a quiet strength in her, the kind that doesn't announce itself. She listened more than she spoke. When she smiled, it was never careless, it was intentional, offered like a small gift. My mother slowly recovered. I found freelance work that paid just enough to breathe. Life didn't become perfect, but it became bearable, and a large part of that was because Sarah was suddenly in it. We didn't define what we were. We didn't need to. We shared meals, stories, long walks where words were optional. One evening, as we sat on a park bench watching children chase pigeons, she looked at me and said, "You know, you look different from when I first saw you." "How?" I asked. "Lighter," she replied. "Like you remember how to smile back." I laughed, but her words stayed with me. The smile that killed me was never dramatic. It didn't come with fireworks or declarations. It simply existed, steady and persistent, slowly undoing parts of me I didn't even know were broken. Then, one night, everything shattered. I received a call from an unknown number. There was an accident, they said. A hit and run near the shelter. They were sorry. They needed me to come identify someone. Hospitals feel different at night. Quieter, heavier. The corridors seem longer, the lights harsher. As I walked toward the emergency ward, a cold certainty settled into my bones. I didn't want to believe it, but my heart already knew. She lay still, surrounded by machines that no longer mattered. Her face was pale, but peaceful. For a moment, I imagined she would open her eyes, see me, and smile that small, steady smile. She didn't. Something inside me collapsed, quietly but completely. It felt like dying without the courtesy of stopping your heart. I remember thinking, absurdly, that this must be what people mean when they say kindness kills you. Because once you've tasted it, the absence is unbearable. At the funeral, people shared stories. How Sarah stayed late at the shelter to make sure a frightened girl had someone to sit with. How she gave away her own coat to a man shivering in winter. How she smiled at strangers like they mattered. I stood there, listening, and realized something devastating and beautiful at the same time. The smile that killed me wasn't hers alone. It was what her smile woke up in me. In the weeks that followed, grief hollowed me out. But in that emptiness, something else began to grow. Every time I saw someone sitting alone, I thought of her. Every time I passed the shelter, I heard her voice. Slowly, painfully, I started showing up there. At first, I just helped clean. Then I listened. Then I smiled. Not because I was happy. But because I understood, finally, the quiet power of it. Months later, on a rainy evening, I stood at the same bus stop where I had first seen her. A man next to me looked exhausted, counting coins with trembling hands. Our eyes met. He looked away, guarded. I smiled anyway. It was small. Hesitant. Almost shy. And as his shoulders relaxed, just a little, I felt it. The smile that killed me was also the one that saved me.